Sharon. I'm with Cambridge 7 Associates, and Maylon and I are going to talk about this renovation project. I also wanted to really quickly introduce the rest of the team. Our architect of record was Moser Mayer Phoenix. Media design and production was Cortina Productions. Life support systems engineers, Clarke H2O. General contractor for construction was Tungsten Corporation. The exhibit fabricator was Color Ed, and last but definitely not least, our major support was provided by the North Carolina Aquarium Society.
And I also wanted to thank the most important element, and that's the staff that made all of this possible. We have David Griffin, our division director here, and I think there's Christian Legner, Brian Dorn. And also, probably should be giving this talk, Larry Warner is in the audience here, but he moved on to Mystic Aquarium, so we wish him well. Okay, let's see. Push your button. Great. Opened in 1976, we're one of 3 aquariums along the North Carolina coast. We expanded in 2000 at a cost of about $17 million. On the map over there, you can see our tiny island, Roanoke Island. It's just north of Cape Hatteras. Due to the now dated design, visitor traffic through the facility was too fast, sometimes as fast as 30 minutes. Too fast. Limited budget constrained us to work within the existing footprint, so our strategy became to increase the dwell time in each gallery by 3 to 5 minutes rather than a wholesale addition or anything. So how are we going to do that? One, we introduced new animals wherever possible, and 2, add a media layer throughout the aquarium, and finally, tap into the rich cultural history of the region and provide the content for the media. In other words, tell stories.
So we're going to take a few minutes to walk you through the renovated aquarium. Oh, and I should have said this is brand new. This just finished this summer. The grand opening was August 10th, right? So it's pretty exciting and brand new still for everyone. So this is the main lobby. It was already an architecturally grand space, but what we wanted to do is add a major media piece to it so that the visitor would have an interactive experience right out of the gates. So the piece that we added here, Maylon's going to talk a little bit more in depth about that a little later on in the presentation, but it's the augmented reality, the grouping of screens above the main entrance into the aquarium. So in terms of renovating the space, we wanted to just respond to what that media piece needed. So mostly this meant darkening the lobby so that media piece would pop. So walking underneath that, you leave the lobby and you enter into what we call the inner lobby. So here, the visitors have a choice of either going into the Neptune's Theater to their left or into the aquarium at the right. And originally, neither entrance was very prominent. So the space was a little bit ambiguous in terms of wayfinding. So for Neptune's Theater, we added a prominent marquee, and then also these information monitors that broadcast what show is currently playing inside the theater to draw attention to the entrance. So inside Neptune's Theater, we upgraded the movie experience. The theater technology is now high definition 3D with an enhanced sound system. And similar to the lobby, we again renovated the space to support the new media experience, while at the same time making the room more attractive for banquets and after-hours events.
We are one of 2 aquariums in the country that has the NOAA-sponsored Science on the Sphere technology. We really love it, but it was taking up a lot of space, and so we needed to cut it in half, basically, and put it on a wall. So we moved it into the Neptune's Theater. They said it could be done, but I'm happy to report that it works out great, and all the special effects intact, so we're very happy. Now we're the first aquarium in the country to have science on a hemisphere. The aquarium experience begins with the Seven Rivers Gallery. That's named after the seven rivers of the Altamont. You can see the natural-looking elements soften the harsh lines of the original gallery. And we were able to add new animals while keeping our three largest aquariums, which we felt still viewed well. In other words, keep your best stuff and then change the rest.
From the Seven Rivers Gallery, you enter into the wild wetlands. And this gallery required the least amount of renovation. It's already a very nice, naturally lit space with an immersive habitat experience. So here, we simply replaced the old static interpretive and species ID information graphics with new touchscreen monitors. The other media piece that we added to this gallery is the Osprey Outpost, which shows feed from a live webcam, which is trained on an actual osprey nest outside. And during the times when the nest is unoccupied, this video monitor just shows a loop tape of an osprey family. Okay. So leaving wetlands, you enter into what was previously kind of just a leftover space. It's kind of a hallway the size of a small gallery. And it also was pretty ambiguous in terms of wayfinding. So we actually took this space and created a gallery inside of it. It's called the New Ocean's Edge Gallery. And we added photographic murals of the beach and the seashore to the walls. And also in the floor, into the carpet, we inlaid little baby turtle, vinyl baby turtles, which lead the visitor out to the Star Center, which is the award-winning Sea Turtle Rescue Center and exhibit. So the visitor now knows to sort of follow the path of the turtles, see the Star Center, and then as they cycle back through the Star Center exhibit, they come out facing the bow of the ship, which was in the corner there. So the bow of the ship is the entrance into the new Sea Treasures Gallery. So this gallery was one of our biggest challenges, but the gallery that we were probably the most excited about. As you can see in the before shot, it was a very long, narrow, low-ceilinged corridor that just had aquarium tanks on one side, sort of museum-style, like portraits hanging on the wall. The other big problem with this gallery is that it was a straight shot view all the way down this corridor, past the touch tank gallery, all the way into the graveyard of the Atlantic, where the big shark tank exhibit is. And so it was kind of giving away too much from too far away. So we used the tight geometry of the space as an opportunity to theme the gallery as an underwater shipwreck. So this immersive experience now begins to tell the Rex to Reef story, where myriad shipwrecks littered all up and down the North Carolina coast have become actual habitats for coral reefs and other marine animals. So to block the view, we added a lionfish tank, which is a new species to the aquarium, about halfway down the corridor. Okay, so leaving the shipwreck gallery, you come into the Sea Senses gallery. And what we wanted to do here, this was as the touch tank gallery, this was already a very popular exhibit, so we were looking for ways to just simply enhance it. So what we did is introduce more of the five senses rather than just touch. So visually, there's an underwater camera that viewers can manipulate in the invertebrate touch tank, which will display onto the monitor what they're pointing the camera at. Not yet, but soon to be, there will be an underwater microphone so that you can hear what the animals are doing. Also, from a visual standpoint, Rick Eller, one of the staff at the aquarium, created these beautiful photographs for us, these macro images of the actual animals in the touch tanks, which create this mosaic. So we've got touch, we've got visual, we've got audio, and the smell we got for free.
Sue's telling me to hurry up. Okay, we made use of the space vacated by Science on the Sphere to create a whole new gallery. So we decided to use an animal that, a group of animals we've not done before, and that's jellies. They're great animals. We created a space, you can see here, special lighting effects that gradually change. We have some nice, interesting music playing, and the mesmerizing effect of the jellies swimming around, all create a very serene environment, which is in direct contrast to the next gallery, which is the story of the USS Ironclad Civil War ship Monitor, and so a lot of booms and bangs and with that. And we'll come back to that in a second if I can make it. And then finally, it leads to the graveyard of the Atlantic Aquarium. It's our largest aquarium, 285,000 gallons. It was big, we couldn't move it, so we thought we'd just make it nicer. And so we added some mirrors on each end that sort of blocks out the lines that define the viewing area, kind of an interesting effect. Put some bench seating in there, and we also added an interesting interactive, which I have an image of in a second.
Okay, so lastly, we also altered the circulation course so that now visitors exit through the gift shop, which also gave us the opportunity to renovate the gift shop a little bit to match the look and feel of the rest of the aquarium experience. And Maylon tells me that the per capita has doubled, so that's been a successful renovation. Okay, so now we just wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about some of the individual media pieces that we added. So because there are so many stories to tell, we created 19 story moments throughout the aquarium as well as scattered across the site outside. And if the visitors come, they download a new app to your mobile device, and as you come in range of a story moment, you actually are sent push notification. So on your screen will pop up more information, so you can go even farther in depth on some of these stories. So then the mobile app itself also contains more information about the species on exhibit at the aquarium, as well as just general aquarium information. And then also, like I said, in the wetlands gallery, throughout the entire aquarium, we did away with all of the static species ID graphics and replaced them with interactive touchscreen monitors. So the visitor has a choice of how much information they want to engage with. If they want to just see the name of the animal, they can do that by looking at the splash screen, but if they want to click through, they can learn more about habitat and diet, and et cetera. And from the staff side, the advantage, of course, to these digital IDs is that they can easily change and update the information as the species within the tanks change.
In the lobby, the augmented reality effect is terrific. Little kids come in there, they look up, they see a sea turtle or an alligator on the screen. They look down, where is it? It's not there. They look up, and adults have a lot of fun with it. A lot of selfies are being taken at this area, and even the governor enjoyed it on the ribbon cutting day. When you walk into the Seven Rivers Gallery, you will walk by the Swamp Shack, click on a photo detector, and a character named Willie will come out and tell you one of 3 stories we have programmed in there about the region.
So similar to Watershed Willie in the Sea Treasures Gallery, we've got a character, Juan Bonilla. He's actually a true life historical figure. He was captain of the Nuestra Senora de Guadalupe. I'm sure I butchered that. Which was part of the famous treasure fleet that was blown off course by a major hurricane in the 1750s and ultimately wrecked on the North Carolina shore. So it's that ship in that scene that we've tried to create in the shipwreck in the Sea Treasures Gallery.
Worst voyage ever. In the turret of the USS Monitor, we tell the story of a short but very important history of this ironclad vessel, Battle of Hampton Roads, which occurred in 1862, and it actually sank in December of that year. So it had a very short life, and it sank right off of Cape Hatteras, our backyard, basically. And so we feel that it's a part of our discovered in 1973. It's 111 years later. And we also have the projection on the floor in the Graveyard of the Atlantic exhibit here. It's a watery effect. If you step on it, you get little splashes at your feet. And then we send images of animals through, whether it could be dolphins, it could be skates or rays, and or even an humpback whale goes through. If you touch it, a label pops up and it identifies the animal.
So, we started out with this challenge of, how do we create a new guest experience in an existing building on a budget? And we think we did okay. Even with our small budget, we were able to create a large impact. So the construction budget was about $6 million, and then it was an additional $500,000 for the media production.
And most importantly, we were able to get the dwell times up. We're now at about 2 hours, so we're happy and the guests